From Marvin rescuing Jeffy from his biological mother, to Judith and Tyrone literally begging Cody to be dead and offering sexual favors to the doctor, we see that the parenting styles and love of their children in SML vary drastically. So today, we're gonna go over the 5 worst and 5 best SML parents, starting off with a parent that does a good job while still having some flaws at the same time, that being Marvin. Marvin is one of the only characters on this list to really get thrust into parenting against his will, getting forced to become Jeffy's dad in SML movie Mario the Babysitter when Jeffy got dropped off at his door. During this time, Marvin absolutely did not enjoy being Jeffy's father, as Jeffy made his life miserable, with great examples including the time Mario got beat up in Walmart for saying faggot in front of Tyrone.
Oh, okay, I'm so sorry.
Hey, faggot.
Excuse me! What? Promise. Jeffy, do not say anything else. Do not say that thing. Do not say anything else.
Okay, faggot.
Jeffy! You called me a faggot again! No.
And another time where he tore up the house sleepwalking, only for Mario to find out that Jeffy was just making a mess with his eyes closed. Hell, Mario was such a bad parent in the beginning that he attempted to straight up hire a hitman to kill him.
Oh my god, I really want to kill Jeffy, but I don't want to go to jail for the rest of my life. What am I gonna do? Why don't I hire a hitman? Yeah, a hitman to kill Jeffy. Yeah.
Soon afterwards, however, the dynamic between the two of them gets completely flipped on its head. In SML movie Jeffy's Parents, where we meet Jeffy's mom Nancy and see the life that he had before he went to the apartment, we see that Jeffy was abused, starved, and generally super unhealthy during this time, which we will definitely go into more detail about later. Unfortunately for Jeffy though, Mario still hated him and decided to let him go be with Nancy instead of keeping him.
Daddy, please don't make me go with old mommy. She hits me and she calls me bad names.
But she's your real mom, Jeffy.
But thankfully, Jeffy escapes and runs back to the house, being able to stay. Seeing Jeffy stay and how Nancy abuses him, Mario caves and decides to call the police on her, and proceed to adopt Jeffy as his son. Marvin certainly had some misfires in raising Jeffy throughout the years, being pretty lazy and irritable towards him, but he at least tries and cares for him most of the time. However, we can't say that about this next parent on the list, that being Braxton. Braxton has been a parent since the old days of SML of Mario and Luigi Stupid and Dumb Adventures when Bowser Jr. was born. But ever since the Junior era started in SML, Bowser is shown to be an awful parent towards Bowser Jr.
Junior!
What's wrong, Dad?
There's a kidnapper on the loose and I need your friends to go home.
But Dad, they really are my friends.
Oh, they really are your friends? Look at the one in the blue. He looks like he's ready to tie you up.
Do I make it that obvious?
Dad, they're not kidnappers. They're my best friends.
I don't want to hear it. Tell him to go home right now.
Most of the time, he would rather spend all of his time watching Charlie and Friends rather than spending time with Junior. But Bowser makes the situation even worse by sometimes wanting to spend time with Junior or overly sheltering him, like we see in SML movie Bowser Jr.'s Bodyguard and SML movie Happy Halloween.
Okay, guys, you ready to go trick-or-treating?
Hey, where do you think you're going?
I'm going trick-or-treating with my friends.
Oh no, did you hear on the news there are killer clowns everywhere?
What, killer clowns?
Yes, killer clowns, and I'm not having anything happen to my precious baby.
Gay?
What?
And during his time transitioning into Braxton, he's really only gotten worse, spending even less time on screen, especially with Junior, and not even showing him an ounce of affection. Throughout this time, you could honestly make the case that Chef Pee-Pee has been a better parent to Junior, as he's more present in his life, taking him to school, different events, and feeding him, like any other parent should do. Even with all of these good things going for him, Chef Pee-Pee still certainly isn't the model parent for sure, but at least they're actually in the picture. Unlike Junior's turtle mom, Bowser might not have been a good father to Junior throughout the years of SML, but we don't have to say the same thing about one of the best parents in SML, who some of you might have forgotten was a parent, that being Shrek. If we go all the way back to the old house time, we can throw it back to SML movie Baby Shrek, where Shrek showed his, let's say, interesting parenting skills. In this video, we see that Shrek is chilling at home, when all of a sudden his stomach starts to hurt horrendously. He goes to the toilet to use the bathroom and almost passes out because when he gets up, he starts to hear baby cries and sees that he literally gave birth to a baby boy in a toilet.
Oh, come here, little baby. Oh, come here, little fella. You're alright. Daddy Shrek is here. He is here.
Shrek takes the baby to his room and starts to love on him, with them having several father-son bonding activities, like eating cheesecake and using the bathroom together, with Shrek even having the rite of passage of having to change Junior's diaper after being woken up in the middle of the night like every baby does for every parent. But the next video takes on a huge twist, when we learn that Junior isn't actually Shrek's baby that he birthed, but is instead a clone that came out of him because the Saralay Cheesecake Company started cloning cheesecakes in order to make them faster. Shrek hears this, but instead of handing over Junior to be disposed of through the Cheesecake Company, he decides to raise him for 18 years, letting him go off to college and live his own life. Later, after this video came out, we get to see the adventure that him and Shrek have in the meantime, of him being raised before reaching college, like the time he found a bunch of weapons, leading him to steal Black Yoshi's gun and then shooting Shrek. Another time where they need to go to the store and taking the keys in the running car from Shrek and going on a joyride, leading to Mario getting arrested by Officer Goodman for negligence.
It's so stupid. Wait, no, hey, come back! What the fuck?
I think we can definitely say that Shrek is a good single dad, since at least he tried to raise him right. But being a good single dad isn't a guarantee in SML, unfortunately, as we see an example of a pretty awful single dad with our next parent on the list, Mr. Goodman. We learn about Mr. Goodman actually being a father for the first time in SML movie Mr. Goodman's Son, where we meet his son Richard. When we're introduced to Richard, we see that he's a super spoiled brat, being incredibly rude to any adult in his vicinity, and bribing Junior, Joseph, and Cody for things.
You so poor you can't even afford ears? What kind of poor shit is that? Hey, poor kid.
What?
Give me your desk.
These tactics slowly start to backfire on Richard throughout the episode, causing him to learn eventually that money isn't everything, and he starts to get pretty humble. This character development is unfortunately thrown out the window when Mr. Goodman comes back and gets furious at Richard for thinking this way. This leads to Richard reversing to his old douchey self, but Mr. Goodman's going 2 for 2 on bad kids, since we see him raise another son, Benjamin, the same way, teaching him to be an incredibly selfish baby, like we see in SML movie Goodman's Baby. In this video, we see Goodman task Mario with watching his baby, but when he drops off his baby at Mario's house, we see Benjamin immediately start acting out, constantly demanding certain things and being rude to people he sees outside when Mario takes him. Mario is ready to go to him until he discovers that Benjamin poops money, but this plan is over when Goodman decides to take him home. Even with Goodman's shortcomings as a parent, we can at least say that at his age and with his wealth, he has the opportunity to be a reasonable parent, but just doesn't try. But what if we took a look at 2 characters that had the opposite circumstances though? That being that they try to be good parents, but just aren't in a good position to raise kids. If we look at our next parents, Cody and Junior, we get to see that reality. Cody and Junior got their one opportunity to show off their parenting skills in the video SML movie Chef Pee Pee's Kids, and its 2022 remake of the same name. In the video, we see that Cody's trying to have a baby with Ken, but he runs into a roadblock when Ken can't have any kids because he's a doll, obviously. This inspires Cody to create the baby machine, which can create a baby if you get the DNA of 2 different people. Cody decides that he's gonna have a baby with Chef Pee Pee, so they take some of his hair from a sandwich that he made, combined it with Cody's DNA, and when they do, it creates Cody's son, Chaz. Junior sees this happen and decides that he wants a kid of his own, so they take some more hair and create their own kid, Junior. Then they proceed to show Chef Pee Pee that he's a father to these 2 extremely ugly kids, and he reacts in a way that you probably would too if you saw it.
Alright, what do you want, Junior? I'm very busy.
Say hello to your children, Chef Pee Pee.
Your puppy. What the f is going on?
Chef Pee Pee tries to ignore these kids, but this is made extremely difficult when Junior and Cody continue to pester him about various things, like money for a field trip and concerns about him going to the kids' recitals, with Chef Pee Pee gradually getting more and more annoyed. Junior and Cody, during the time that they raise the kids, show their concern for being good parents, being invested in their sons' lives, like knowing their classmates and trying to feed the boys as well, even albeit with plastic pizza, unfortunately. Chef Pee Pee gets to a point where he's had enough and calls calls Goodman with Child Protective Services to take the kids away from them, letting us never see them again. Junior and Cody may try to feed their kids plastic pizza, but the effort they put into taking care of their kids is a far cry from the way these next parents act, Nancy and Jacques-Pierre Francois. When Jeffy first came around in SML, the community became super curious for the longest time, wondering who Jeffy's parents were. And we got to find out about one of them in SML movie Jeffy's Parents, where we meet Jeffy's mom, who we talked about earlier. When we meet her, we see that she's super selfish, abusive to Jeffy, and only really wants him for his money, not being concerned about anything else.
Come here, Jeffy. You're coming home with mommy
I
now.
don't want to go with you, old mommy. I don't like you.
Jeffy, how dare you say that to your own mother? I gave birth to you in a porta potty. Now listen here, you little shit.
Nancy plans to take Jeffy and keep him until he turns 18 so she can get the trust fund money from his dead dad. But he fights to stay away from her and eventually goes back to Mario's house, where she finds him and begins to abuse him again. But this all ends when she gets caught by Brooklyn Guy, sending her to jail for a long time. Throughout the future years of SML, we see Nancy continue to try to kidnap Jeffy for the money that he will bring. But all of the attempts fail, with Nancy rightfully getting what she deserves in SML movie Jeffy's 19th birthday, where she gets shot and killed by Brooklyn Guy and literally goes to hell. Jeffy's dad, Jacques-Pierre Francois, isn't any better though, as we see that anytime Jeffy is in the picture, he truly couldn't care less about him. When he's revealed to be alive in SML movie Jeffy's 18th birthday, he's shown not to give a crap about his son, making it very clear that he's not gonna get any of the money. He takes that disdain a step further when he gets to meet his son in person for the first time in SML movie Jeffy's 21st birthday, where he straight up tries to kill Jeffy instead. In this video, we see that he's trying to sell his severed balls to a wealthy buyer in Vegas, but the buyer only wants them if they're unused, which they're obviously not if Jeffy exists. Jeffy runs into Jock while in Vegas for his birthday, and Jock decides to get rid of Jeffy before he can foil his plans. Jock plans to kill Jeffy by crashing the car from an airplane, with it ultimately failing because Jeffy escapes with a parachute, leading Jock, his sidekick, and the pilot to be killed in a plane crash.
Okay, God, I am ready.
So yeah, if you've ever wondered why Jeffy is the way he is, just take a look at his parents, and you'll probably realize why. Jeffy's parents might be two parents that are straight up awful at raising their kid, but a set of parents that aren't too bad, even if they're not from this earth, are Rosalina's parents, the two alien puppets that we see in SML. We first witness Rosalina's dad before we know that he's a dad when we meet him in SML movie The Alien, where we learn that he comes to Earth to truly just mess around with Junior and Cody, letting them know what planet he's from, and telling the boys that he wears Crocs. However, we meet him and his wife for real when we see them in SML movie Rosalina's parents. In this video, we start off with Jeffy making chicken noises, until he's interrupted by Rosalina, letting everyone know that her parents are coming over, with Mario getting frustrated with Jeffy and taking him to his room. Rosalina then lets Mario know that her parents are coming over pretty soon, with Mario freaking out that he's not going to be good enough for them. Mario, wanting to make a great impression on them, tries to go and make sure that Jeffy doesn't cause any problems. So he plans on putting him to bed until Mario looks for him and sees that he's literally getting abducted by aliens outside.
Jeffy! Jeffy, did you fall? No, Jeffy, no. Did you fall? Jeffy! Where'd he go?
Mario tries to tell Rosalina, but Rosalina's parents get to the door and he sees that they're literally aliens, leaving Mario super uncomfortable. He tries to get along with them, but refuses to believe that they're actually Rosalina's parents, leading them to eventually admit that they found Rosalina as a baby flying through space and decided to adopt her. The aliens have definitely done some questionable things later on in SML, like threatening to kill the entire planet if they don't eat a turkey when we see them again in SML movie Turkey Tyranny. But we can look at them and the way they cared for Rosalina and see that they're better parents than a lot of other parents in SML, even if they're not all there. Definitely much better than the next worst, but yet one of the most popular mom and dads on our list, that being Judith and Tyrone. Judith and Tyrone have been around for quite a while in SML, but in that time, they have given us plenty of examples of their awful parenting skills. We see them create bad home environments for Cody by having constant infidelity. Like, we see Tyrone cheat on Judith in SML movie Cody's New Family, cheating on her with Boo Keisha, and having another daughter, Sprinkle. Or when we see Judith cheat as well in other videos, in SML movie Bowser Jr. Gets Sick, where she cheats on Tyrone with Bowser, or other videos where she talks about how she sells herself out on OnlyFans.
That was amazing!
I just cheated on my husband with a turtle.
Wait, what? You have a husband?
Yeah?
We've also seen them overwork Cody to a ridiculous degree, like we see in SML movie Poor Cody. And we also see them teach Cody some absolutely nonsense things about life and history, like when they have Hanukkah in SML movie Happy Hanukkah, teaching Cody about the manure, Shabbat fighting, and trying to say that the Nazi cheeseburger is responsible for the Holocaust. We also even see them straight up have a Cody's Death Bash party in SML movie Junior Goes to Legoland, celebrating them thinking that Cody's dead.
Hello?
Hey, Cody's friend. We came to invite you to Cody's funeral.
Yeah, we having the Cody Death Bash. This is gonna be hard liquor, Tiggo bitties, and Sin like Sin City.
We're gonna party like it's 1995, bitch.
But now, let's wrap up the good parents on this list by looking at one of the most popular SML characters, Scooter, and his parents, or his not parents. You'll see what I mean by that when we take a look at SML movie Scooter's parents. In this video, we see Mario and Rosalina hanging out with Jeffy on the couch, until this gets interrupted by Scooter coming to the door. He complains about not being able to find the owner of a lollipop, with Mario eventually demanding that he goes home to his parents. And Scooter then lets everyone know that he doesn't have parents, with Mario and Rosalina making plans to help find his parents. Right when Mario loses his patience, he sees two parents on the news looking for their lost daughter, Heidi. This gives Mario the idea to dress up Scooter as the girl Heidi, and give Scooter to the family to give him parents, and to just frankly get rid of him as well. They call Camille Habib Habab and tell him that his daughter is found, and they send Scooter to live with them instead. This plan then backfires horrendously at the end, with the real Heidi coming to the door and looking for her parents, with Mario just shutting the door in her face instead.
Someone at the door. Hello?
Hello, mister. I'm lost. Have you seen my parents?
No?
We can truly see the quality of parents in SML when some better parents in SML are just two parents that want their daughter to come home safely. Truly a low bar indeed. To wrap up this list, let's move on to the other end of the spectrum, with some characters who are truly disliked in the SML community and are bad parents at the same time. Those being the wonderful Hank and Suzanne Huckerdoo. We first see Hank and Suzanne appear in SML movie The Huckerdoos, where Marvin goes over to meet Hank after hearing him mow the lawn. Marvin gets really annoyed by them mowing the lawn, so he tries to tell them to stop, but this somehow leads into a quick house tour and an introduction to the rest of the family, where Hank quickly loses his nice guy / good father and husband facade when his kids screw up a little bit.
How was that, Father?
$1,000 a week in voice lessons, and that's the effort you give me! You take your asses upstairs and keep practicing! You're never gonna get on American Idol singing like that!
Ever since this part of them unfolded, we've seen their true side. We see both of them do some super questionable things, like Suzanne hire Marvin to be a private male stripper in SML movie Magic Marvin, or when we see Hank try to adopt Joseph to be his son, but only if he gets drafted into the NBA to make them some money.
Oh, I can't let this go. I'm a winning day. Check up.
Good game.
With this failing, and Hank literally disowning Joseph as his adopted son because of his failure, we even get the chance to see Hank and Suzanne try to perform a gay exorcism on their son Timmy to try to wish the gay out of him, with Brooklyn Guy letting him know in advance that it's just a scam. But Hank and Suzanne are too dumb to realize that they're being duped, since they hate Timmy for being gay. Well, those are the worst versus the best SML parents. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to go down and subscribe. And if you're still here, click the video on screen. I'm sure you'll love it.